Hi Virgo, this is your forecast for the month of July 2017. This is a general reading for Virgo Sun, Virgo Rising, or Virgo Moon. If you have a different rising or moon sign, you might find watching those videos helpful or more informative for you. You can watch your reading in 3 different ways: the full extended monthly, or for just the energy influence, watch the brief. Or in addition to the brief, watch the weekly for the upcoming week. Weeklies also make it easy for you to review information you may have forgotten in the full reading. Please remember that these are general readings, and so they may not apply to everyone. If you would like a reading that is specific to you, please visit my website at thealchemistastrologer.com, and I invite you to follow me on Facebook, Google+, and Instagram. Please also check out my pay-per-view channel, vimeo.com/on-demand/finding-love for monthly love readings. So Virgo, this first week of July begins with some type of exchange. There could be issues where maybe you're investing in something or you're seeking an investor. This could be about loaning money, dealing with benefactors, or providing a service to a charity, or being charitable yourself. There's a focus on perhaps saving for a rainy day. So you're looking at your money, how you spend your time, and the opportunities that are presenting. And you're being very efficient, discriminating, and discerning about your choices. This is going to be a week where you connect to people who can help you. And you're looking at every opportunity that presents, and that's a good thing. This is a good week for you to negotiate, renegotiate, look at the fine print, bargain hunt, try to get that best deal. Because if not, you could end up paying a higher price. So for some of you, this is also a focus on, having and not having. Again, generosity, giving and receiving, financial assistance, could be a focus on loans or bonuses or sharing the wealth. And there's a strong concern with being fair and having integrity within the financial dealings that you're involved with. Some of you may be helping others. You may be teaching a skill, maybe you're mentoring, maybe there's some kind of business opportunity where you're doing some promotion. And so you have a new sense of purpose. You're very motivated. You're very driven about getting things in order in your daily routine. And that's your strength anyway, Virgo. Some of you, maybe you're dealing with some legal issues, and that may work out for you. But the bigger thing is probably, getting some type of recognition or moving ahead and being more conscientious about the way you do things, whether that's the way you're running your life on a daily basis or dealing with your health. Now, some of you, the issue of generosity has to do with giving love and receiving love, or maybe taking better care of self and focusing on self-love. There could be issues where, somebody is perhaps needing money. Maybe you're dealing with people who are asking for something, or maybe there's a focus on somebody who's very tight with money or crookedly managing money. It could be, there's somebody who is extremely dependent, or on the other end of the spectrum, somebody who's only concerned about themselves and what their needs are. Whatever the case, this is a week for you to get in focus about making improvements, being efficient. Some of you may be dealing with health issues, having difficulty sleeping, feeling some nervous tension, specifically because of the problems that you're facing. And it may be incumbent upon you to have to pick up the slack for somebody else, pick up their, pay for their bills, whether that's because they were immature or irresponsible or neglecting their responsibilities. You may be trying to think of ways to improve your work environment because you simply are not enjoying it and probably wish you were doing something else. This is not necessarily the week to find something new. You may be realizing that some choices that you've made, some judgment calls were rather faulty, and it's creating some complications for you financially or emotionally. Maybe you're pushing a little bit too hard to make something happen in your relationship, and it's creating a challenge for you. Now, the second week, either this is, again, about some type of settlement issue, especially if last week you were dealing with some legal issues, or this is some frustration on your part, maybe with your health or finances, or having to take up the financial responsibilities of others. This is about being irritable, being stressed. And for some of you, there could be issues connected to the heart, literally, if this is an illness, maybe, some heart disease or a need for surgery. But this is probably more than anything else, some kind of emotional disturbance, some kind of perhaps a separation or some kind of rejection. It could even be some third-party situation, somebody interfering negatively. This is going to be a week because of that frustration. You're going to get grounded and get on better terms with yourself to change the way you're looking at something. There could be something that's, challenging to you and keeping it and making it difficult for you to be rational. And it may be stressing out your routine in some way. You may have to change your agenda. It could be that you were trying to perhaps negotiate some kind of loan, some kind of business opportunity, and this is the week where those negotiations break down. And whatever happens, you get this strong reality check. For some of you, maybe you were anticipating this bit of bad news or something that didn't go your way. And so now you're just relieved that it's all over with, it's done, and you can move on to something else. But if you weren't expecting it, if it came out of left field, you're going to be particularly disappointed with the outcome or with the person, and it's going to be challenging for you. It could be that there's some kind of, again, a breakdown in communication, a last-minute cancellation, or something that is emotionally upsetting. Now, this may have to do with something from the past, some memory, something from the past that's currently influencing your present. Maybe you're having difficulty moving on from a situation. It could be that you yourself are sabotaging your situation in some way, or you're having your own personal pity party because of what has happened. But in reality, this card is saying you should be looking at how you may have been wasting your time, your talent, your energy. Were you putting those resources in the appropriate places? Were you directing your energy constructively, or were you repeatedly trying to come up with shortcuts that ended up leaving you with the short end of the stick? So it could be that something that you believed in, or a person, or a situation, or even your own abilities. Maybe you overestimated in some way. And this overestimation has led to a disappointment of some sort. Now, the third week, you're at a lull. Maybe you're getting over that frustration, heartbreak, or disappointment, or maybe you're recuperating from some type of illness or situation. But this is a week where you probably need some rest. You are maybe in solitude. There's not a lot going on, not a lot of communication, not a lot of activity. You need some relief from the stress, and so you're withdrawing and you're doing a lot of thinking, introspection. Now, some of you, maybe you're recovering from an illness or surgery. You're in the hospital, or there's a doctor visit, or you're dealing with people who are. So you are, again, recuperating. Others of you, because of something frustrating last week, you are regrouping. You're reconsidering your position. If you had somebody in the first week that was taking from you and you became frustrated, it could have been that you had some type of unwelcome guest that you were dealing with. Whatever it is, this is saying that you are taking a moment to figure out what your next move should be. So this is like a strategic time out for you. And during this week, something may happen that is going to give you a jump start again. You're taking a break, and then you may have something that gets you going and gets you motivated once again to get back in the game. Or some financial situation or some health situation is going to put you at risk, and you understand that your security is jeopardized, and it's going to be very demotivational for you. Whatever it is, you're at the end of some kind of situation where it's necessary for you to regroup. Now, you could be going on either end of the spectrum. Either you are not trying hard enough, or you're trying too much. But you've reached some kind of plateau, and if you're able to this momentary lull, then you're in a good place. Maybe you were frustrated last week, you're figuring out what to do, but you're not thinking the worst. You're not thinking that it's all over with. But for some of you, there's definitely too many loose ends to deal with. And you're frustrated because you're not taking the action that you need to do. Maybe timing has something to do with the situation, or you need to start something, or you need to take the initiative. And instead, you are hoping that a situation will just go away. You still think that you can save something or bring a dead issue back to life, or you're still not dealing with the truth of a situation and accepting the fact about something. Right now, you may not have a lot of choices. Something may be going on, some exchange, some frustrating exchange, and maybe you're angry about it and you want to know, where this other person stands, where they're coming from. You think they should be apologizing to you and explaining why they did whatever they did. But if you were the person who created the distress, this is probably going to be a week where you're going to want to sweep that under the rug. So the message is, take time out to gather your thoughts and your strategy, but don't procrastinate. You need to deal with issues, address your obligations, or deal with things in a timely manner so that you don't jeopardize other situations for yourself. Now, the last week you have a major card, which says that more than likely you're not in control of the outcome of a situation. For some of you, this is dealing with an important female figure. This could be your daughter, a sister, a single woman. It could also be somebody who is involved in psychological or emotional issues, like a counselor or an intuitive person, somebody very sensitive that is, can be a confidant to you. It could actually be somebody keeping a secret or somebody doing some kind of research. But this is somebody that can advise you more than likely because they know the behind the scenes of a situation. This is also receptive energy. So it could be that you're not getting involved. And we go back to last week where you're taking that time out. You're not getting involved perhaps in any frustrating exchanges with other people. You may be trying to, gain mastery over your inner world right now. You're gaining some kind of psychological insight. You're looking within and you're trusting your intuition and your inner voice. Now, there could be some frustration because there's some hidden issues that again tie back to the past conditioning, early memories, it may be family issues. So you're grappling with, dealing with the past, maybe expressing your love or your feelings. Maybe you're grappling with some things that you have stuffed down and it's coming up for you. For others of you, maybe you're frustrated about your health. You need to do something. You need to take some action, and you realize that something about your vitality and your health is not where it should be. Maybe you have some female issues, or maybe you have some digestive issues. Maybe there's a decreased libido. Maybe you're not motivated. There's a fatigue, an apathy. But this is going to be an emotional week, if nothing else. And how you feel, especially if you were frustrated or heartbroken, or you're dealing with other people who are, other people feel that. You have this intuitive link with others, and even if you're not speaking it, they're feeling it. This is a week where you are reevaluating some things. Maybe you took that time out to do a reassessment, and you're looking at your relationships, particularly with other women, and those will be making some changes. But not only that, you're looking at perhaps a goal you had, a promise that was made, something that you felt one way. You're now looking at that and thinking whether you indeed still feel that way. You may be looking at something, some opportunity or something that you thought, this is it. This is what I'm meant to do. This is what I'm meant to have. And now you may be rethinking that. There could be some kind of opportunity that crosses your path, or some kind of material situation. Perhaps it is a settlement, but there is a string attached to whatever it is that's in front of you. So you're advised to use your intuition to deal with it. Now, some of you, you may be playing the game a little bit fast and loose. Maybe you're trying to change the rules about something because that would work better for you. Or you're trying to confuse other people. You're trying to do some mind games because you want to overcome a challenge, or you want to get around a person, or it could be somebody you find as a threat or competition. And so you're thinking of backdoor ways to win the game. But just know that if that's your strategy, if that's the strategy you came up with, you may be asking for more trouble than you're ready to deal with. So again, this is a week where you're rethinking some things, how you feel, what you believe, some kind of goal, and you need to listen to that intuition to guide you. This is a week for you not to ignore that or look at life through some kind of preconceived idea. This is a week for you to release any prejudice, any bias, because if not, you could be acting in ways where, because there are all these repressed feelings, you may end up having a lack of emotional control. You may be failing to use your talents properly, and that's the need for you to get on track and be more efficient. Or maybe some kind of secret came out, or maybe you're being hypersensitive about something, or maybe you need other people to validate you, and it ends up where you get frustrated, or maybe you're too caught up in your head, and that's a problem. So again, this is a week to trust that intuition, to help it guide you to make good choices. Now, the underlying energy is some type of review that you're doing. Again, maybe this is about business, or maybe it's about your health, maybe it's about your finances, could be about a relationship. But you may find yourself involved in some kind of negotiation or waiting for some kind of answer. And there may be choices about either sticking with what you know, what is tried and true, what is safe and reliable, versus stepping out there and taking a risk. This is a month for you to get those emotions in check. Be realistic about the choices that you make. See things clearly and use your intuition to guide you. Something is going to happen at work, at school, at home, or all of that, that will allow you the opportunity to make some changes that you've been wanting to make. So you're at the threshold of change, and perhaps you're taking a momentary pause to look things over. So this is about, having the courage of your conviction to take control of a situation and use your personal power, especially if there's an opportunity or some vision that you have, some goal that you want to make. So maybe you're looking over some type of invitation, perhaps maybe to socialize, or maybe there's, you're looking over a romance that you're involved in, or some friendship, or an opportunity, or trying to figure out, maybe you should put yourself out there more. Whatever it is, this is Mars energy. It's about desire, drive, ambition versus being rash, impulsive, acting in a knee-jerk response and off the cuff. You're going to have an opportunity this month that presents, and you can decide to walk through that doorway or not. Maybe you want to make a point, or maybe you want to prove yourself in some way, or maybe you want to be cleared of an accusation, or maybe, there's some opportunity, again, a job, a relationship, a situation. And the High Priestess said that there were probably some strings attached to that. And so you will be able to remove yourself, if you choose to, without creating problems in the relationship. But whatever it is, you're going to either feel more strongly about something, or you're going to become more detached. Now, maybe you're putting something off because you are doubting yourself. You're procrastinating. And remember that third week, maybe you were wishing something would resolve on its own. Maybe that's because you're not getting the support you want, and maybe that's causing the frustration. There's even some resistance on the part of other people. So this indecision that you have, this hesitation, it's not being used strategically to consider all the alternatives. You're in a holding pattern because you're running scared, and other people will feel that. And so if you don't claim your power, they're going to. So this is a month for you to trust your gut instinct and listen to that intuition. The important thing is to not be rash or impulsive or allow your ego to get away with you. This is about fact checking before you make a decision, before you create a tornado. Make your decisions based on fact rather than anything else. Now, this is going to center around, again, your attachments to a person, a situation, an idea. And either you're going to become a strong supporter in one of those arenas, or you're going to become perhaps an enemy. And this is about choices, oppositions, dualities. There's some dilemma that you're facing, and there's some uncertainty about how to move forward. You need to know what to do about either a settlement or a frustration or your illness. And so your insight is very important this month. That is the key to getting out of any challenge. Using your intuition, your insight, and not allowing yourself to be intolerant of the viewpoints of others. There could be an effort to inspire people, to get them to do something, and that may be successful. Some of you may be feeling trapped by a situation, and you're literally using your own willpower to gain your freedom in some way. You're trying to change the storyline. Now, either you or another person, somebody may be a little bit arrogant. They may think too highly of themselves, or they may be pushing for change, and they don't care what that change, at what cost the change comes. If somebody gets hurt, so be it. We're gonna do it like this. And there could be issues where somebody is dealing with a family business that they hate. You're going to have to keep your emotions in check. And also, that's going to help you avoid being mentally ruthless. This is a month for you to use your intuition and get in touch with the more feminine aspect, the more receptive side of yourself. Allow yourself to ease back a little bit and get in touch with that water principle. You have the capacity to use that instinct to make your decisions. And it's going to allow you to look at something fairly. Again, you're not supposed to be making decisions through a lens of bias or prejudice. True insight requires you to be fair and non-judgmental. All right, Virgo, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Let me know with your comments, and don't forget to subscribe. Have a great month, and I look forward to speaking with you next month.